开牌。
开牌。
哦，我们先要做什么？
我们现在带大家去体验一下那个美国 ATM 怎么领钱。
好。
我们看一下美国人怎么领钱。美国的话是不用，就完全就可以在车上。
好，那我们之后再看怎么在车上领钱。
等一下就带大家去。
OK， 好。好。对。
我的那个提款卡存在 Apple Pay 里面，感应一下，然后输入密码，然后我们就按取得现金，然后我领个100，不要收据。哎，完成了。
好，交易完成。
我们就取到了。然后我们就对，非常好，我们就完全不用下车，直接在车上完成一切。
对，
等一下带大家去那个买枫糖，纽约州的枫糖。
好，
我们等一下就去那个枫糖农场。
好 ，Jason。我们。
你好。
好，给大家看一下周遭的环境。基本上这个就是一个农场嘛。对。然后我们先要来买枫糖。
看说怎么采集下来的，然后怎么去 concentrate。
对，这个就砍掉了。
这都是燃料啊。
哦，这燃料。
对啊。
傻眼。
Yeah, this is a factory. We processed about 65,000 gallons of sap from a little over 2,000 trees. And from that, realistically, because I sold some, we started on the 6th of February and we finished on the 23rd of March. It's one of the longest seasons I've ever had. It was a very, very busy season. You drill a hole into the tree, and you insert that into the, and then that plastic tubing connects to a main system. This tree was a maple tree.
Yeah.
And each one of these dark spots, over the last 140 years, this tree has been tapped. That was a recent one. That was a recent one. These were very, very old. This tree was, each one of these stains is actually a place where the tree had been tapped at one point in time. And so what we do is we completely, well, there's an old tap zone. And if we were to tap this tree next year, it would go here and up. The next year it would go there and then up. And by the time you get on, this tree would have been too small. You don't tap a tree until it's about 10 inches in diameter the first time. And so the idea is to sustainably harvest about 10 or 12 gallons of sap per season, per year. And it's a new tap hole each thing. Once you have made that wound, it is forever stopped.
I see.
And so it is called a necrotic zone.
Permanent damage.
There's permanent. It is.
Yeah.
But the idea is, here's a good example. This tree has been tapped for over 140 years. Are you killing it? No.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can over tap a tree, and there are people who do that. You drive by, you see this bucolic scene, and you'll see 5 buckets on a tree.
Oh.
That's just, that's robbing Mother Nature, quite frankly. So none of our trees, I mean, we've got 3,600 trees. Fewer than a dozen have more than one tap hole. Heel over. Well, I started pulling taps last week, these things, spiles last week, and they've already begun with this warm temperature to wound repair. And those tap holes will be closed probably by the end of August. So RO that I did some of the very early research work on 40 years ago. And what we do is we hydraulically push the sap against a membrane. The holes in the membrane are 8 angstroms in diameter.
Yeah.
All right.
Less than 1 nanometer.
Right. Right. And what that allows is pure water molecules. Anything with a molecular weight under 200 will go through. Anything with a molecular weight over 200 is going to slide down the outside of the membrane. We make about 700 gallons an hour of pharmaceutical grade pure water. And I save it, we wash the evaporator with it, and then I pollute the pond with pure water. And the concentrate is, remember, it was 2% sugar coming out of the tree, about 12% coming out of the RO, and I've got to get to 66. So we're now down to, instead of boiling 43 gallons to make 1 gallon of syrup, I now boil about 9. So I'm saving energy, I'm saving time. I'm not putting a lot of greenhouse gases out by the stack of this thing. And the big thing is time. And the quality of the syrup is better because you're handling it faster. But it operates at about 400 pounds per square inch of pressure. The membranes are expensive. They're about $1,200 a piece. They plug up at that small a membrane. You know, you're going to, minerals will plug them, and yeast. You know, as soon as that sap comes out of the tree, it's no longer sterile. And it's a carbon source, so that the yeast are growing in it. And that's actually what's giving some of the color, the flavor, is the yeast. And the longer you keep the sap, you can make wine out of it. I choose not to do that, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
I have a former graduate student of mine, spent her career at National Taiwan University, and she was on the staff there for years, for 35 years. Hard to believe my students are now retired. So
Wow.
once it processes, a drop of sap comes out of the tree at 2% sugar. And if I was to give you a sample, I don't have any open down here, but
20%.
it's 66.5.
66.
And to get from 2% to 66 takes 43 gallons. That's a 40-gallon drum, the big one on the right. Takes that much sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. The firebox are about 2,800 degrees. That burns a quarter of a ton, 500 pounds of wood about every 17, 18 minutes. Those flues that you see hanging down, those are filled with sap, and the flames run between them just like they would in a steam locomotive. And those 10 little holes are high pressure air jets. Those 2 eyes that you see back there, they're turbulators, and they actually spin the air. This is an air scoop right here, and there's 2 more of those on this door. And so back there, they're spinning the air clockwise. Here, it's anti-clockwise. And then there are holes in the grates in the bottom, and there's air coming up through there. So there's not much chance. I can have, the evaporator holds about 130 gallons of 4 degrees C sap, and I can have a full rolling boil on 130 gallons in about 12 minutes. So it's really quite an intense fire. Now, when we make the maple cream and the maple sugar candies, we don't add anything. You just continue to take more water away, cool it, and control the rate of crystallization. And water, I adjust the dial to 0. In the side of the evaporator, when that reads 7, it's syrup. Okay? So it's syrup at 7 degrees above the boiling point of water at this time and place. Now we know the boiling point of water changes throughout the day by two things. I'm testing you. There's going to be a doctoral defense here. Two things change the boiling point of water. What are they?
Pressure.
Atmospheric pressure, bless you, and a change in elevation at sea level.
Oh yeah, that's
at 1,000 feet, which is where we are right now. You will never boil it at 0. All right.
Yeah.
So I pray to God that the elevation doesn't change here, but the pressure changes several times during the day.
Yeah.
So we adjust these several times during the day. When the thermometer reads 22.5 degrees above the boiling point of water, I draw off the concentrate, allow it to cool to room temperature, 65, 70 degrees F, and then stir it 50 revolutions a minute. I'm controlling the rate of crystallization, and the crystals are small. It'll make a cream that is about the consistency of peanut butter. And we don't add anything, you just take, and I can make a gallon of syrup weighs 11 pounds. I can make 8 pounds of cream from 1 gallon of syrup. I boil it to 26 degrees, 27 degrees beyond the boiling point of water, stir it hot, control the rate of crystallization, makes the brown maple sugar candies, and I can make 7.5 pounds from 1 gallon of syrup. And at 50 degrees beyond the boiling point of water, which is volatile, I mean, it just boils all over the stove, stir it hot, makes the granulated brown maple sugar that you would use in cooking, like brown sugar.
How long can the final product to shelf life?
Forever. It's just like honey. We haven't turned any maple syrup into amber yet, but if mold grows, it'll only grow on the surface, just like honey. It's so dense that.
So no expiration date.
No, the only thing that'll happen, watch your head. It'll form rock.
Ah.
Perfect 104 degree. That's a sugar crystal. And so that means that syrup in that batch was boiled beyond the syrup stage, and then given, if you keep it still, there's another one over here, been growing for about 25 years, but that's a solid crystal of syrup, of sucrose.
You said this one is 25 years.
Yeah, that's been in there and the crystal just keeps growing and growing and growing over time. But in a stainless steel drum, if you were to come back 50 years from now and open that drum, it would be just as fresh as the day I put it in there.
Is that one we can still consume that one?
You could consume it.
Yeah.
I would suggest that if you get crystals like that, do not chew on them.
Do not chew.
Do not chew
You'll
on
break
them.
your teeth.
Do you know
really
know the Mohs hardness scale for geology? 0 to 10.
Yeah.
A diamond is 10, and talc is 1. This is 7.
Yeah.
This is the same as quartz.
Yeah. You'll have to go.
Same as the teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a picture of it now because it's not going to be there.
好
开始了吗？现在我们终于买完了。刚刚跟那个老爹谈完之后，我们买了92刀的东西回去。
对，我觉得他今天很开心哎。
对啊，他每年只做1400加仑的枫糖，
对，
然后根本就纽约州里面都卖不完了，就是都卖不够了，不可能再卖到外面去。
对，
所以你各位有福了。现在留言，下新闻就抽奖送你们一个小的 tin， 从怎么采集，就是它会钻一个洞，枫树上面，然后呢，它从上面收集下来，就是然后再用管子连接到最下面那个桶里面，用重力让它引流下来，用 RO 逆渗透把它就是浓缩一下。浓缩完之后出来的可能是本来是2%，出来可能就变12%。RO 逆渗透这些出来，再去那个火炉里面 继续浓缩，把它浓缩到66%以上，来之后过滤、加压，然后就是形成枫糖。甜度嘛，然后还有透明度，还有里面的渣子，还有颜色，还有风味，去评级啊。
那颜色跟风味有相关性吗？
颜色跟风味深的话，它那个枫糖的味道是越重啊，然后那个风味是更好，就是比较大家比较常会拿来入菜，拿来吃大概会比较淡的颜色。看一下左右有没有车？
没有，
只有那边买得到而已，就是别的地方买不到，就是它没有通路啦。
对，
它的通路就是它那边。
对，然后它是从什么？那间农场是什么时候开始的？
他说是18多少84的还是1849？
对。
他说他今年76岁了，可能再过2-3年后，他就没有体力再做不动了，因为那个其实很耗体力，然后很耗时间啊，因为他要去把那些树砍下来，然后当燃料，然后他还要去接那些管子，去打那个洞。这个价钱其实很便宜，应该赚不到什么钱。他说大概2月份的时候开始收，因为他经历过就是那个反复冻溶几次之后，那个枫树才会开始产生那个枝叶。很少人知道纽约有枫糖。下面留言抽起来，大家可以试试看。还想要看我们去哪里？下面留言留起来，
好，
我们就带你去。
好，没问题。
喜欢的话要按赞、订阅、分享，
对，
开启小铃铛。
没错。
我们下次见。
好，先这样，拜拜，拜拜。